and it felt like I was being lazy, and I wasn't where I was at, where I was financially happy. And I thought the best way to make the money that I wanted, which the goal was $2 million a year, was to start these other companies. And fast forwarding now, almost 8 years later, it was probably the worst financial decision I could have made, but the
Oh
best
no.
business decision as far as education goes, because I've got to learn a ton about business. But that's where it stemmed from, is just wanting to make more money. And instead of doubling down on Green Mango and making it better, I started to venture out, which I think is.
Welcome to 7 to 8, our special series on 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs. In this special series, I interview $1 million, some $10 million, and even some $1 million business owners who uncovered their twists and turns in their entrepreneurial adventure in order to help you to avoid the potholes and stick to the fast track. Welcome now to center stage, our next special guest. Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelec, and I'm super glad that you're here with us today because I am here with my most amazing guest, Cameron. Cameron, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. Excited.
Awesome. So give us a highlight of who you are and what you do for business.
Yeah, so I have a couple different service companies. One of my biggest one is pest control. So we're located in Arizona. We started in 2010 with just one truck, and now we're probably one of the largest in the valley. We roll over 100 trucks a day, and it's been a crazy journey. But we started a couple other service companies along the way: alarms, pools, uh, windshield replacements, carpet cleaning, you name it, we've done it. Anything in the home service company. So I've learned a lot, and I'm excited to talk about it today.
Nice. I love it. So let's back up the bus for a little bit. What made you decide to get into pest control as a thing?
Yeah, it just, I served a mission for my church, and for a lot of missionaries that come home, they get recruited to do door to door just because we're used to knocking on doors for literally 2 years straight, 7 hours a
Right.
day, at least minimum. And, so I got recruited and kind of just weirdly enough fell in love with the residual model of it. And that's what I'm passionate about. I'm not a huge bug guy, but I am passionate about business and the residual that comes from it.
Nice. So as I'm assuming that as you were kind of going through your day-to-day operations, you realized, oh yeah, this needs a solution too. Oh, that needs this. Oh, look, there's another one. Is that
Right.
kind of how that happened, or how did the others come into play?
Well, in 2000, about 2016, 2017, is it the time where we started to get smart and hire managers for us in our pest control business. So from 2010, when we started Green Mango Pest Control, to 2016, um, I didn't take any money from the business. I put everything back in. And in 2016 to 17, I started to make really good money. When I pulled stuff out, I think I was making $300,000 to $400,000 a year at the time. And I felt like once I hired people, I was working like 6 to 8 hours a day. I wasn't working those 16 to 18-hour days anymore. And it felt like I was being lazy, and I wasn't where I was at, where I was financially happy. And I thought the best way to make the money that I wanted, which the goal was $2 million a year, was to start these other companies. And fast forwarding now, almost 8 years later, it was probably the worst financial decision I could have made, but the
Oh
best
no.
business decision as far as education goes, because I've got to learn a ton about business. But that's where it stemmed from, is just wanting to make more money. And instead of doubling down on Green Mango and making it better, I started to venture out, which I think it might be a mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make. They're not making the money that they want to make, and they think that, oh, this company, it's tapped out, when they don't even have close to the market size or the cap that they should be before they start to branch out. They see all these people like Elon Musk and Richard Branson, starting all these companies, being uber successful. Well, there's a difference. They have the capital to go and pay the money that it takes to hire a level player to run that business. And I didn't have that, and most entrepreneurs don't have that. And so the businesses fail because your time is just, it's stretched too thin to be able to run 5, 6 companies at one time, which is what I was trying to do. We started 5 companies in 18 months, and our marketing budget per company was $40,000 per company per month. And it was crazy. We were hiring people left and right. We were trying to do quality assurance. It was the crazy. I was back to working 18 hours a day again.
Uh-huh. Well, you mentioned a couple of things that are interesting to me. Well, you mentioned a lot of things, to which I'm going to pick on. One is the mindset of I felt like I was being lazy. And to me, that's a fascinating reason to go and start 5 more companies. I get it. And I hear
Yeah.
it a lot. And I'm going, so would you have rather have dealt with the mindset of, I feel like I'm being lazy? It's like, no, you're not. This is actually the way a CEO should live their life. Or would there have been something else in that realm that you would have rather addressed?
Yeah, it's just a weird dynamic that I mean, when you're used to something, your mind, I'm on vacation right now. It's spring break. I'm in Cancun, and my mind literally can't rest. I wish it could. I just can't take a break. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs and CEOs are that way, where they just can't shut it down. So when you're used to this high-paced cadence, which I was for 6 years, it was normal to work 6 days a week, 16 to 18-hour days. A lot of times 18 hours, but most of the time no less than 16. And once you get used to that, when you go back to an 8-hour workday, you feel like you're working 2 to 3 hours. And when you have the drive that most entrepreneurs do, and you're doing that, you know that there's more in the tank. And because I was burnt out about Green Mango, you think about 18-hour work days. If you do that for six years straight, it's almost as if you've worked out for 12 years straight. And so I've put everything into it for 12 years, 12, on the working, 8-hour schedule. You get burnt out quickly. And I think that's a problem that a lot of entrepreneurs go through, is that they get burnt out. They see a need. They're saying, "Oh, I'm referring all this business over to this company. I could be making all this money." It's my opinion. It's like just go negotiate a great deal with that other company to give you a good kickback, and don't worry about all the bull crap that comes with it. And keep focusing on your baby. Maybe if you're burnt out, take a month off, take 2 months off, test your team, see where they're at. Can they manage everything properly? Can they get the business, continue to run the business efficiently, and all those little things. And if you come back after a month or 2 months and the business is on fire, like, hey, there you go, you got some more work to do. And it'll point out very quickly where you need to improve.
Nice. So you had mentioned that at that time, Green Mango was it was running tickety boo and life is good. I have a sneaking suspicion you probably had a little bit of burnout on it. When I don't want to deal with these guys anymore. I'm going to go over here because the grass is greener over here. This is way more interesting. But when looking back at it, kind of feeling like, it was growing, it was healthy. You got a nice little porky baby. Life is good. What kind of things, looking back, would you have gone, we could have improved here, we could have fixed a few things? Or would you just go, I wish I'd just kind of been absentee for a month, let a few things break, and then we would have known where the attention should have gone?
My one of my business partners, he still says this today. It's like, what I don't know is what I don't know. And I used to hate that saying, because it's like, dude, it's your job to know. But a lot of times in business, you don't know what you don't know. And it's your job as the CEO to figure it out. And I mean, I'm fixing things in my company right now that honestly I feel like are embarrassing for a company that's been in business for 13 years. It really is. But what I'm finding is that, we did over $24 million in revenue last year. A company that does 20 million and a company that does 24 million is a completely different beast. And that's what I'm figuring out, is that I think at every different level and stage, I'm excited to see what challenges come at 30 million when we hit that. And I just think, every stage is different, every couple $1 million. And you just got to understand that as an entrepreneur and be willing to always look in the mirror. A lot of entrepreneurship is being responsible for the problems. Hey, if this person's unhappy or this person wasn't clear on the policy, okay, is it written down somewhere? Was it just a verbal communication in a meeting? Is there manuals, training on it? Is there someone auditing it? Is there reporting going on it? Is there KPIs on it? Are people being incentivized with cash for it? All these different things help you get the end result. And if you can't answer yes to all the things I just listed out, whose fault is it? It's mine. And that's what a good CEO, a good entrepreneur does. And I feel like I'm doing that every year, every day. And I think they'll always come. So
Well, I like to compare them to businesses, that is, and the different stages of growth to a roller coaster. The engineering that's required for a 10-foot roller coaster is substantially different from one that's 100 feet, which is substantially different from one that, like, you're not going to build it the same way. You're not going to have the same foundation. So in a business, you get to start with a 1-foot roller coaster and build up to a 10-foot and then build up to a 100-foot. And it's understanding that those challenges are always kind of going to be there. And it is the rush of being able to build a roller coaster.
I've never heard of it talked about like that, but you're 100% right, because that's what it is. I mean, each year in business, hopefully there's more revenue coming on. There's just more problems. I mean, the telephone game that we played as a kid is very real in corporate America and in business, especially as you add that second and third layer of management underneath you. It's crazy the things that I hear that they understood, 3, 4 levels down. It's like, man, that's not what I was trying to say at all.
Yeah, no, we're not into making grapes into wine. This is not what I said at all. Where you
Yeah,
got that from? Not quite sure,
right.
but we'll deal with that later.
Crazy.
Totally get that. Nice. So now, as you're working in your businesses, kind of describe to me kind of what your ideal clientele is. What are you working on? Where's your business now?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about, I have a 5-year plan, which I think all business owners should have. And I wasn't very keen on, having an exit as a business owner. I always started all these companies like, hey, I'll just try and get them as big as I can. And I think that's a mistake, whether I actually do sell it in 5 years or not. I think you need to have those goals in mind. So my goal is to get to 50 million in revenue. What that looks like for me is a lot of pest control companies go for a very high multiple on EBITDA. So I believe that if I get to 50 million, I don't know if I'll have a full exit or a partial exit, but at least I'll know the business is worth probably around $200 to $225 million if I can get it there with our profit margins. We're seeing record high EBITDA numbers for us. Last month we hit 29% EBITDA, and I was just like, this is awesome, man. Like, things are going great, and it's because of the people around me. I have a great team. And that's what it's all about, is setting that standard. So we have our 5-year 50 million broken down to every single year, broken down to the quarter, broken down to the month, and then broken down to the week. And that just gives people perspective of where to focus on. It helps me as an entrepreneur know where to focus and what's out of whack. Having great CFOs. And what I'm excited about is I just hired 2 auditors. That was some advice that Tommy Mello gave me. He's a huge mentor of mine. That he's like, hey, you're going to keep running into the same problems every single year unless you have someone as an auditor just auditing every system and policy that you have. So I've doubled down on that. I now have 2 auditors for our department, and they're not there to clean up after managers. That's not the case, but they're there to help make sure that the systems and policies that you've put into place are being held to, because that's important. As we get bigger and bigger, there's certain reasons why policies are put into place. And if people just decide not to do it or decide to change the policy, I need to know about that. And so hopefully the auditors will catch that before it causes too many problems. But that's what I'm excited about. My carpet cleaning business, I'm really excited about that as well. I think you talk a lot about franchising. The headquarters is here in Arizona. And we launched 4 franchises last year, and we have 3 more in the hopper right now. We just finished our first year with our audit, and we're ready to sell them again. I think we'll sell between 10 and 15 this year, because people love the service that we do. We've kind of created what's never been done in the carpet industry, which is a reoccurring model. Most companies, they see their customers once every 18 months. That's horrible. So what we did was we're like, hey, let's create this coconut club. So we come out once every quarter, and it's been a game changer for us. People love it. It's a great discount. They have to buy in $3,000 to buy into the club, which is healthy for us up front. And then we have them as a customer for life. No longer are they going to go somewhere else if they paid $3,000 to be part of our coconut club. And then we come out every quarter for 99 bucks, and we're taking care of anything that they need. Couches, tile, cars cleaned, whatever it might be, we're there for them. So I'm really excited about that. But my greatest opportunity right now is Green Mango and focusing on that 50 million mark. We're going to start doing M&As, mergers and acquisitions, within the next couple of years. So the goal will be 20 to 30% growth year over year for the next couple of years, just in M&A, plus our traditional marketing that we get as well.
I love that. So when it comes to kind of the ambition that you have now. So realizing that I probably shouldn't start all these things, but I did, and they're clearly obviously running very well. What would you say is kind of the put it as the key, but let's go for it. The key that you contribute to your success in being able to run kind of 5 companies all at once?
The people, 100%. You have to have the right people. I hired a life coach a few years ago, and he absolutely changed my life. I encourage anyone that's an entrepreneur to find a great life coach that can help you, navigate and talk through your problems and help you as well. I never went to college, and so a lot of my education has been through, the painful lessons that I've had to deal with in business. And, I've hired people to help me out, and a life coach is one of them. And he taught me this principle that a lot of times you have the right people on the right bus, but you don't have them in the right seat. And that was a huge eye opener for me, is that, hey, just because they're a team player and you have them in the sales department, maybe they're better suited as a router or a customer service rep or whatever it might be. But it's important to find the right people and then find the right seat for them. And that's the only way I've been able to scale my companies, is because I have the right people in place. And hopefully, they feel that they're incentive properly and they have motivation to grow that business. So in each company that I've started, I've went and found someone that's an expert in that industry and gave them equity of the business. So now it's their baby that they deal with. They eat, sleep, and drink it. And, we provide the systems, the processes, the marketing and finance, and they're bringing the expertise, because I didn't want to be the jack of all trades opening up all these companies. I wanted to be the best in each one.
I love that. So when it comes to kind of hiring, getting the right people in the right seat, are you looking at kind of, hey, Dave, what do you think your competencies are and where do you want to be? Or are you hiring people to kind of do assessments and figure out what their aptitude is? How did you go about that initially, or how would you have done it differently if you could?
I'd be a hypocrite if I said I had it completely figured out, but I think what's important is that you know your people and your managers know your people, so that when opportunities come up or there's problems in a certain department and you're talking amongst managers, you're saying, hey, I'll just take like the retention department, for example. If I went to a manager meeting with all my people and told them, hey, we have a problem with retention, we need to hire a different manager in here, we need to get this, like this is what we're looking for, and list off all the characteristics, I would hope that one of my managers could say, you know what, Joe or Bob, whoever, like has been not a problem, but I think he'd be better suited in retention. Like, let's move him over there. I think that's where you start to kind of play the chess pieces. And that's what's fun as I've started so many companies, is I've been able to, okay, hey, technician, you're no longer loving being a technician at Green Mango. Well, a coconut technician makes a little bit more money because it's more of a sales job than it is a service job. So let me put you over here and see how well you do there. That's been really fun to do.
Nice, I love it. So when you were first starting Green Mango, or any of your other companies for that matter, because they've all kind of reached a significant level of success, what would you say was paramount in being able to build those businesses over 6 and 8 or 7 and 8 figures, I should say?
Yeah, so there's this stat that I'm obsessed with, because, a lot of people don't take the time to look in the mirror and say, wow, like I've lost 10 pounds, or wow, like we're really doing it. And Adam Coffey was on a podcast actually with Tommy Mello, and he shared this stat that there's over 33 million companies, right? Only 4% of those companies get over $1 million, and only 7% of the 4% hit 10 million. I've not only done that once, but I've done it 5 different times. And that's not to brag. That's just to say I have the right people. And that's what it's all about. And so when we talk about, sitting back and looking at what's important is putting the company first. And that's what I've done in every single business, is that if someone's not on the right seat or in the right bus, I've removed them from that bus, even though it might have been a very difficult decision at the time. But you always have to put the company first, and you have to be willing to reinvest into the company. A lot of entrepreneurs start their company because they want to make 100 grand a year. Maybe they're making $80,000 with the company that they're working at, and they're like, I just want to make 100. And as soon as they make 100, they go spend it on a car, they go spend it on a vacation or a house or whatever it might be. The way that we've been successful is that we keep reinvesting. I said for 6 years at Green Mango, I didn't take any money. I didn't take $1 from Green Mango. At Coconut, I haven't taken $1, reinvested everything. It's been 6.5 years that since I started coconut. I'll probably take something next year because now we're at a healthy point where it's like, okay, the growth is there. We can scale it back instead of putting 25 to 30% budget into marketing. We can be, like a normal company, 12 to 15. And I like the level that it's at, but that's market dominance. That's, we're one of the largest carpet cleaners in Arizona now because we've decided to reinvest, not to take off the top. And that's important. And that's a mistake that I see a lot of entrepreneurs make. The other thing is knowing when to hire people and when to, say, get off the truck. So a lot of people that start their businesses, they stay on the truck for too long, or they stay as the office manager or a sales manager. As soon as you can find someone to replace yourself, and let's say that replacement costs $5,000, as soon as you can replace yourself and then go make the company twice as much as it takes. So in this scenario, it'd be 10 grand. You need to do that and keep moving on and keep moving on and keep moving on. And one of the things that I absolutely love is that I've worn every single hat in the business. So when someone comes to me and said, hey, this isn't possible or this isn't working, I can speak from real life experience that, hey, I've done your job, whether it's stuffing packets for the customers, whether it's spraying routes, confirming routes, whatever it might be, dealing with an upset customer, like I've done it. I'm on vacation. I jumped on the sales team yesterday. I told my sales rep, I said, hey, give me 5 leads. You guys are saying that these close rates are what they are. Give me these leads, and I'm going to show you how to take care of these guys and the cadence in which to, contact them. I was sending everyone selfie videos. Hey, it's Cameron. I don't use the owner card. I don't do that. Hey, it's Cameron. I want to get you taken care of. We have huge promotions going on today. Give me a call back. They don't answer me. Shoot them a text. Hey, what time is best for you? I got a hold of it. I sold 3 contracts yesterday out of 5 leads. My team's selling 1 out of 5 right now. It's not because I have a silver tongue. It's because of my effort. And that's what it's all about.
Nice. So when it comes to franchisees that are kind of looking to be able to work with you, what kind of attributes are you looking for particularly?
That's the biggest challenge with selling franchises. It's not finding people that want to buy them. That's easy. It's deciding who you want to sell them to. So it's just one of those things where they obviously have to have a couple $100,000 in the bank because it takes a lot. The franchises are, depending on their territory, 50 to 75 grand, so they're not much. And then they need to
At
come
the
and
point
do.
of this recording.
What's up?
Said at
Yeah,
the point of this
yeah.
recording.
Thank you.
Never know when people are going to be listening to this.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
A big part of the judgment will be if they have the cash, obviously, if they can carry themselves well, if they have a good background with what they're getting into, which no one knows what they're getting into. I didn't know. So there's not much judgment there, but I just kind of want to know, okay, what's your history? What do you think you know that you're getting into? And then a big part of the assessment is when they come down and they train with us for that month before we sell them a franchise. Then we'll know. We'll be able to see people on the truck. We'll be able to see their work ethic, how they carry themselves when it's a long day, when there's, stressful situations going on. And that'll be the deciding factor.
Nice. I love all of that. Awesome. So when it comes to kind of business and entrepreneurs looking at getting into a franchise, what do you think is important for them? What should they be focused on besides good work ethic and the things you've mentioned?
Um, a big part is the systems and operations. Like make sure that you're getting into a franchise that supports you, that has a good track record themselves, wherever their headquarters is. Demand to see their numbers and make sure that they're a profitable company. Yeah, I had a buddy do a franchise for a restaurant. I won't name the name, but they somehow lied about their numbers because in the FTD you don't have to disclose everything. And they were 3 restaurants in and found out like, hey, these numbers that they told us weren't actually what they were making, and they ended up having to close shop, and it was really hard. And so when you're looking into a franchise, take the time, make sure, go visit them, go run the truck, go talk to the employees there, go talk to the office staff. Do they like the owners? Do they like the culture that they're presenting? Do they have things in order? Do they have a good process for how they buy vans, how they get them set up? Just do your homework. Don't be too excited to jump right in. And if it's almost too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Depending on the industry, if you're doing north of 20% in EBITDA margins, like it's a great business. And make sure that you're looking at the royalty fees on top of that. So if a company's doing 20, 25% and the royalties 10%, are you okay with making 15% profits? And what do you know, what's the headquarters doing? And can you get as big or bigger than the headquarters? You just need to be realistic with those numbers. You know, I've jumped into a couple different businesses where I think a lot of entrepreneurs do this. It's like you just do the rough math in your head. You know, I did this with my windshield company. It's like, oh, man, you're telling me that a windshield's $450 to get replaced and the technician takes an hour and the average class is an hour. So I can make like 250 per windshield and the average tech can do like 15 a day. You're like, man, I can make a couple grand. Okay, let's go. And then you get in it and you're like, oh, wait, I forgot it. I didn't know about this and I didn't know about that and this. And it's like, at the end of it, you're like, I'm getting smoked here. I'm not even making money. So you got to know your numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it always looks so easy from the outside when you get kind of that basic one. It's like, no, really need to delve into this a little more, all those unexpected surprises. Awesome.
Yeah.
So in a moment, I'm going to ask you about a Cinderella story of one of your clients. But before we do that, we're going to take a bit of a break.
Are you running a business over 7 figures but still struggling with technology headaches? Pay attention, you do not want to miss this offer. This podcast episode is brought to you by Awareness Strategies, who is offering a custom-built digital adoption roadmap for anyone running a business over 7 figures who's wanting to grow their business in the next 5 years. And it's not just a roadmap, they offer full implementation as well if that scares the out of you. Check out awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap for more details today. The link's in the show's notes. Don't regret not doing this. Do it now. That's awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap.
So I am super excited to hear an example of a Cinderella story of one of your clients.
So when we got into franchising, we were kind of forced into it, actually. We had 4 amazing salesmen slash technicians at the time who knew that they didn't want to continue to work for somebody. So they came to us and said, hey, either you need to franchise this company or we're going to go start our own and be your competitor. And that's what I mean. We were forced into it. So luckily we were able to, it took about a full year to do our full FDD. It's a tedious process. And when I think about a Cinderella story, we lay out this game plan of how we did it, and and hey, don't do this, do this, and put money into marketing here, and here's the brand and all the assets. And it was really cool. One of our franchisees in the first year did over $1 million in revenue, which is part of that 4% that we talk about. It's unheard of. It took us in Arizona over 3 years to hit $1 million in revenue, and they did it the first year. And that just shows the power of becoming a franchisee and taking all the lessons and the pain points and everything that we had to learn, the pay scales of the brand, down to what equipment we used in the truck. And he expedited the process, 3x'd it. And so that was really cool to see. And a lot of it was on him. He decided to stay focused on it, and he decided to work hard, and he had success, and he's still killing it right now. Another story that I love, because I'm a bug man. We're in the game of saving lives, right? In Arizona, we have these scorpions. That's why I love this hat so much. And probably about the 3rd or 4th year in, there's this family out in Paradise Valley, which in Arizona is probably one of the nicest places that you can live. And she called me and basically said, look, I have a son that is deathly allergic to scorpions. If he gets bit, like we're done for. And I can't find a company. I've been through 10 to 15 companies that just say, hey, we'll get you taken care of. We take care of you, and they can't get rid of them. So I went out there with a technician one night. We did what we call a black light service, which is one of my favorite things and creepiest. I hate scorpions. I hate snakes. I can't touch a snake, but we went out there, and for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, like I was still spraying routes at the time, but we went out there, did a black light. So when you're servicing around the property, and it was 3 acres in Paradise Valley, all these palm trees, beautiful home. The home was probably 10 to 12,000 square feet. We probably put down, gosh, man, 50 to 60 gallons of product, if not more. But as we're servicing the home, we have our black light, and we're just seeing scorpions come out of the woodworks everywhere. And we're just killing them left and right. And within 2 months, the mom, the homeowner called us literally crying, just like, we have not seen a scorpion, and you guys are absolutely phenomenal. And that was fun, because when we started Green Mango, we wanted to be different. We wanted to be what we call a premium service. We didn't want to alter from our service. We didn't want to alter our times, which is the two easiest ways to become profitable in the pest control industry is cut down time and cut down chemical at the home. We wanted to provide a great service, and we guarantee scorpions, and that's what we did. And so that's one of the Cinderella stories from Green Mango that I love.
Nice. Love it. So for those who are listening, what does your hat say?
Well, this is a Waste Management Phoenix Open, but I'm gonna have this scorpion made for Green Mango because I love this scorpion. But yeah, I'm a huge golfer, and obviously the Waste Management. It's a little bit it is pretty rowdy this year, but I usually love golf and going out to that tournament. So
nice. I love it. So I know our listeners are going to want more from you. How did they start that journey with you?
the best way is to reach out to me on Instagram. It's C Bawden, Bawden, and just DM me, and love to help you out. There's a lot of people that helped me out as an entrepreneur, and so I'm trying to pay that forward for everyone. Hence why I'm doing all these podcasts and double it down on my personal brand, and trying to just educate as much as I can to help other people, become some of that 4%.
I love it. We'll, of course, have all of Cameron's links in the show notes. So go ahead and scroll down, click on the links, and open up in a new browser because we're not done yet. So, Cameron, I get to ask you, at what point in life did you know you're special kind of crazy enough to think that you could become an entrepreneur?
Oh man, I don't know. It's
Still
funny,
don't
my
know.
life goes. Like this year, I think it's finally hit me that like me not shutting my brain off, me, doubling down. I had a chance to sell out about a year and a half ago for a huge number. If you would have told me I could have sold out for that number when I first started and told myself that I would have turned it down within 10 seconds, I would have called myself crazy, but I did. And I don't know, my life coach, I love telling this story because he knew me as a little boy when I was 3 and 4 years old, because he was my dad's friend. He said, "Hey, Cameron's either going to be in prison or he's going to be a millionaire." And I really don't know which one. So when I called him when I was 27 years old or 28, he's like, are you in prison? Or are you calling me for coaching? And I said, luckily I'm calling you for coaching, man. So it's been a crazy ride, but you do have to be a little messed up in the head to go through what entrepreneurs go through. I love Elon Musk. I shared something yesterday that Elon Musk talked about. He's like, being an entrepreneur is like chewing on glass repeatedly. It's miserable. It's not fun, and it's like, that's what it is sometimes as an entrepreneur. You're dealing with everything. If something goes wrong, you can't blame other people. It's your fault. You need to take it on the chin. We talked about that. That's what great entrepreneurs do.
I love it. You've been absolutely awesome. Any last words for our peeps?
No, if you're one of those people like I was, going through it, would have literally given away my company I owed my dad $200,000. He was a silent investor at Green Mango. We were 3 years in. I remember being out on a route in a hot summer day, 120-degree weather, on the phone with him and my business partner. And I'm telling my dad, like, "Hey, I don't know how you can make money at this company. I literally want to sell it, and I'll give it away for 200 grand because I just want to pay you back." And luckily at the time, nobody would even pay us 200 grand for the company. And I'm just grateful for that. We had no choice but to keep doubling down and keep showing up for work. And that's what I tell people. Everything's a season and everything happens for a reason. So if you're going through a season right now of hardship, just keep showing up and reach out for help, reach out and study, and just keep showing up for the right reasons, which is to be successful. Don't give up on your dream.
I love it. Cameron, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and I know how valuable it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Peeps, this is Michelle Nedlock. Thank you for being here with us today. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your friends. We love helping entrepreneurs grow. Thank you for listening to 7 to 8. If you're interested in upping your speaking game, be sure to connect with our guests with the links in the show notes, and connect with me to see how we can help you get your tech done for you and help your speaking dreams come true.